He would come to my house on his way home from shift and he'd have his firefighter gear on. You could smell the smoke.
Everybody loved James Scott. Everybody. He won everybody over.
There was this little black book sitting in the branches of the Christmas tree. Took it out and opened it up and it just said Colleen Scott's wedding diary. I said yes. I couldn't really say it, not say. I didn't feel like I could say no. My daughters were 13 and 15. My family was complete in my eyes. I was like, are you sure? It's once you do this, there's no going back.
He is making this life-changing decision. That's the red flag.
I went into shock. I just couldn't get my head around it. I had this awful fear that he's going to think I've cheated on her. This was breaking my heart. My wedding dress is hanging there. Everything's ready to go, and he's sitting there saying, I can't go ahead with that. He was crying his eyes out. The feeling of helplessness was just terrible. James turned up, it must have been maybe 3 or 4 hours after I'd been in the hospital. He came in wearing his firefighter gear. He'd come straight from a shout. It was bonfire night, so it was the busiest night of the year for the fire service, and he was just so sorry that he couldn't be there. He's saving lives, isn't he? So what can you do? You can't be too annoyed.
I think what James is doing very cleverly is developing the scaffolding of a story, and he's fantastic at this storytelling. And from Colleen's point of view, she's buying into it.
It was just before the Christmas, so I will have been 6 months pregnant. And I came into the living room and my girls were there. James said, oh, can you see anything different? And what about the Christmas tree? And so I got up and waddled over to the tree, and there was this little black book sitting in the branches of the Christmas tree. So I took it out and opened it up and it just said Colleen Scott's wedding diary. It had these little mini post-it notes and they were numbered 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, and number 1 was meet the wedding planner and the time and the day and the venue I was meeting the wedding planner at. Number 2, cake tasting and where we were going to do it and the time. And then it just went on like that, wedding dress fitting, and even then on to details of the honeymoon and the flight numbers and everything, all chapter and verse in this diary. It was a massive surprise to Colleen. She really wasn't expecting to get proposed to. But then it wasn't really a proposal because it was all done fait accompli. After what happened with James, it left me in a situation where I had no alternative but to file for bankruptcy, and I lost my home and I lost everything. My career was gone.
The worst things he did, in my opinion, was he destroyed Karen and Colleen's lives. They were 2 fantastic women when I first met them, and when he left, they were shells of their former selves.
If you allow this to change the way you view all of humanity, then really you're always going to be a victim, and I don't want to be a victim. Colleen doesn't want to be a victim. I wasn't going to let what happened to me dictate the rest of my life. I've got the most lovely husband now who's adopted Charlie, so he's not a little boy with a fake name anymore. He's got what he calls his forever dad now. And I'm now helping to help other women who are in the same situation, because it's not your fault. When something like this happens to you, you're a victim. I couldn't stop what he did to me, but if I can stop him doing to somebody else, I will do.
There's no doubt that both Colleen and Karen are survivors. They both have moved on brilliantly. I have nothing but admiration for them. The
police and everyone had said, you'll have to write a book one day about this. And neither of me and my sister are writers, but we thought it would be a cathartic measure, so that's what we did. And I've had so many people that have read the book get in contact and say something similar's happened to them. I've helped so many people.
Colleen has been through the most horrific, unimaginable experience, and she has come out of it 10 times stronger. There is no victim in her. That woman's a warrior.